Hi, campers. So I want to make some videos about masculine and feminine energy. I think it's going to be a series. What does it truly mean, the masculine energy, the feminine energy? Because we embody both, all of us, regardless whether you have female body or a male body. How to heal those energies, how to work with those energies. What does it mean when they're actually working together in union to achieve that inner union? And yeah, maybe we'll dive deeper into some of these topics. I want to start from masculine energy. We're going to do masculine energy today. So I'm going to walk you through the three core things so you can actually see that we all have that masculine energy. Again, you can be a woman. And the reason I want to start from masculine energy because a lot of females actually think that they are in their feminine energy, but they're driven by their inner masculine, and that inner masculine is wounded. So we're going to cover those three key things. What does it mean, masculine energy within you, what that energy is responsible for, and then we're going to compare how it looks like when it's wounded and when it's healed. So when we say masculine energy, in general, we mean that go-getter energy, right? That energy that lives in the logic and lives in the physical world, that energy that creates movement, that strategizes, that intellectualizes, that looks for reason, that looks for explanation, right? So the first thing that characterizes that masculine energy is that go-getter energy. So masculine energy within you is that energy that will want to push you forward, that will want you to progress, that will want you to move, the action taker, right? The go-getter. Now, if that energy is in healed state, it's really beautiful and really needed because it's going to show as ambition, as willingness to grow, as willingness to expand, right? Regardless whether that's in the physical, to have that forward movement, or mentally, spiritually, right? But it's going to be about creating that expansion, about creating that growth, creating that movement for yourself in your life, right? And if it's externalized, and we talk about divine masculine for you and your partner, but that divine energy drives that. However, if it's wounded, for most part, all of those elements that I will cover, there's just one difference when it's wounded and when it's healed. And that's, to me, the easiest way to explain this. It's the motivation behind that. Of course, it's also going to be how you do things, but the core thing is going to be motivation. So if you are sitting in your healed masculine energy, you will want to create that forward movement, that growth, that expansion to be better version of you, because you have ambition to expand, to grow, to learn new things, to become every day, like I said, better version of you. If it's in a partnership, that energy will want to bring your partnership to that next level, create that growth, right? And your motivation will be self-growth, self-improvement. When that energy is wounded, it's more because a show-off kind of energy, right? So that wounded masculine will want to create forward movement, whether that's out of anxiety or fear, a lack mentality, to show off to others that you can be better, that you can move further, right? So the motivation will not be correct, and the desire to have that forward movement will kind of disregard how you do it and who you hurt in that process. That's that wounded energy, right? So you're not doing it for yourself, but you're doing it to, for example, grow in the eyes of other people, right? And that's something that many women embody, despite the fact you're in a female body. You're driven by that wounded masculine energy, and that particular one often comes from a father wound. Now, next thing that we always say, right? I always talk about this: masculine energy, protector and provider. So let's cover these two. When we talk about the protector, when that energy is beautiful and healed, the masculine protector wants to protect your heart, want to protect the integrity, wants to protect the values, wants to protect you on a physical level. So again, when we talk about your inner masculine, if your inner masculine is healthy, that inner masculine will reassure your inner feminine that it's okay, that it's safe. I protect your heart. I protect your emotion. I got you. You're safe with me, right? In a connection between two divines, right? The people, either if you can be soulmates in their divine energy, that healthy masculine will protect the feminine's heart, protect the integrity for their relationships, the values that they represent. Protector, right? Physical protector as well, within a level of emotion, of integrity and values and so on and so forth. When that energy is wounded, it shows off as a control, right? So you're not creating that protective armor around, again, if we talk externally, your partner, your feminine, we talk internally, your internal masculine, you're creating that armor around not to actually protect, again, from harm, protect your own heart, your own emotion, but out of fear, out of unhealed trauma, out of in-process wounding that you've never addressed and let go of, right? So you're not really protecting, you're controlling, you're locking in, right? So internally, in a one person, that wounded masculine quality will mean that you will lock yourself away from everyone, from love, from friendship, because you will be afraid to get hurt. In partnership, that controlling will mean that you will lock away your feminine from the world because you have the control to lose her. You have the control for her, control her, you have the fear for her to go out there and perhaps find something better, right? Because you lack self-worth, you lack self-esteem. So it's not coming, again, from a place of light, when you protect the heart, protect the emotion, but it's coming from a place of shadow, from a place of wounding. And the last one is the provider, right? So again, the provider, whether it's within you, your masculine, or that already divine masculine, the masculine externally, when the provider is in a beautiful energy, we understand that it means the provider of love, the provider of emotion, the provider of security, the provider of stability, the provider of everything that is beautiful and that we need in the physical world. Whereas if that energy is wounded, again, it's the motivation. So you will have that need to provide, but you will only see the physical items that you're providing because, again, you're lacking your self-worth. So that masculine energy, when it's wounded, they will want to provide physical items, that peacock kind of energy. Look what I have, look what I can buy to you, what I'm giving to you, right? So it's not actually from healed, beautiful place of light. I want to provide to you, again, internally or externally, but it's going to be, again, to show off, to control, to dominate, to amp up your own ego, your own masculine ego. So I hope this more or less explain. I wanted to make it sweet and short and very simple because I like to explain things so anyone understands. We could talk about masculine energy so much more, and I cover that elements of that in my readings on a daily basis. But I hope this explained more or less how it looks like. We're going to cover tomorrow, or maybe I'll do another video now, the feminine energy as well. And then we're going to dive deeper into how they work together, how they should work together to achieve that inner union. And I have one more thing that I'm thinking that I may cover, just to divide those energies as we divide energy in tarot. So the pentacles, the wands, the swords, and the cups, and to kind of dive deeper into those qualities of the masculine, the feminine, and the inner world and external world. So I hope this was helpful, and as always, if you have questions, let me know. All right. right, let's cover feminine energy, and we're going to do the exact same thing that we did for the masculine. I'm going to give you 3 key elements of feminine energy, and I'm going to talk about how they present, whether they're wounded or healed, both externally, right? So when we talk about two people in union, feminine and masculine, and internally, because we all have feminine and masculine. And in order to reach inner union, we have to have the feminine and that masculine healed and working together beautifully. That working together beautifully part we're gonna cover in the next part. So at this point, you should know that when we talk about feminine energy, we talk about that energy of receiving, that energy of alchemizing, that energy of sitting in stillness, right? The energy that deals with internal world of emotions, right? So one by one, sort of matching that energy to masculine points, so you can also understand the yin and the yang, right? So for the masculine, we said that the masculine energy is the go-getter within us, and the response to that is the stillness in the feminine, right? Is the stillness, is the ability to sit with patience, to trust, to fully connect to the universe, to have belief that the universe has our best interest always, is working always for our greatest benefit. So I just trust, I just surrender, I just sit in stillness. That's the healed energy of the feminine energy. When that energy is wounded, it turns into procrastination. It turns into that, again, just like with the masculine, the key difference will be the motivation, right? Where is it coming from? So when you're coming from a place of light, from a place of soul, from a healed place, that feminine energy will show up as, like I said, I trust, I surrender, I'm here. I am also the embodiment of the moment of now. I help the masculine, whether that's within me or externally my masculine, to anchor in the moment of now. I sit in the energy of receiving, right? But when the energy is coming from a place of shadow, it will just present as a lack of action out of the place of fear, out of the place of lack of confidence, procrastination. Next energy is the feminine, is the nurturer, right? So we have the masculine that is the protector, and the feminine is the nurturer. What does it mean? It means that we, in our healed energy, again, from a place of light, we understand the world of emotion. We validate the world of emotion. We create a safe space, that feeling of home, that being around us, being around a healthy feminine energy feels like being at home, feels like you can be vulnerable, feels like someone is taking care of you, that divine feminine, that mother energy, that nurturer. I care for you, right? With my touch, with my words, with my energy, I care for you. I give you love. I make you feel that love, right? It's also creating a container for the masculine energy, again, whether that's externally or our masculine internally, or our masculine externally, creating a container where they can be vulnerable, where they can trust that they can share their emotion, their challenging emotions with us, and we will help them to transmute that emotion, to understand that emotion. When that energy is coming from a place of shadow, from a place of fear, unfortunately, it turns into that energy that is very manipulative, that uses that man-eater kind of energy, that uses that emotion, that uses masculine vulnerability to manipulate, to hurt deeper, to not validate those emotions, right? Whatever wounding is there, to make it even deeper, to use that for the benefit, to achieve certain goal. And the third element is a very important one, and it kind of comes with the fact that we sit in stillness, right? We're the alchemizer, the receiver, right? And whenever I talk about this, it's just this beautiful, I've posted it recently on my Instagram. It's beautifully presented in the world of nature. I believe that there was some sort of a bird put it as an example, that the feminine, the female, right, sits in the nest with the children, and the male goes out there to look for food. And when he brings that food, she changes that into an actual meal that can be given to the children. One does not exist without the other. One is not better than the other. And we'll talk about that a little bit more as we do part 3 about how those energies should work together. But the alchemizer, the receiver within the feminine, when you are in your healed energy, you understand that you have the power, because we're feminine. We're constantly connected to the void. I talk about this all the time. We're connected, naturally connected to source. We sit on the portal that brings souls into this physical world, which is our womb. We have the power to alchemize literally anything. So you probably have heard that, people talk about that really balanced relationship, that whatever a man brings to his woman, she alchemizes it. She multiplies it. She changes food into a meal, right? She changes house into a home. This is why they bring things to us and we alchemize them. We transmute them. We change them. We make them something different that actually has deeper meaning for that internal world. It's not just in the physical. We bring it to another level, right? So when you are in your healed energy, when that feminine energy is in healed energy, in a healed place, again, you come from a place of light. So you understand how big of a value that has, that you're sitting in stillness, that you're connecting to that void, connecting to divine, connecting to your purpose, connecting to creation, is that inner guidance for both you and your masculine. This is where everything starts, for the masculine to take action and return to you with the outcome of that action so you can alchemize it, right? So you're open. It's very much links to that sacral chakra, the worthiness of receiving. When the feminine is healthy feminine, that feminine knows it's worthy of receiving, because it's going to do something beautiful with whatever it receives. And it is a gift in itself to receive things from others, right? When that energy is wounded, you feel like it's not enough. And it happens so often these days because we live in a masculine world. We live in this patriarchal society. So we're being told since childhood that energy is inferior. That going out there and bringing money, bringing food, bringing whatever that is in the physical world is less. It's more important, right? So we are less. You can see that beautifully in those relationships when a female stays at home as a stay-home mom, and then a man is the one working, right? It doesn't matter that she creates a family, that she creates a home, that she alchemizes everything that he brings in. She will hear that, well, in the moment of them separating, well, she's done nothing to have what they have. What they have, do you mean nothing? This is wounded energy. This is lack of understanding of the worth and the value of that alchemizer, of that receiver. And that brings us to the next topic, that they should actually work together and understand that they're equals. And I'll cover that in the next part. I hope that was helpful. And as always, if you have questions, let me know. Okay, so we covered masculine energy, we covered feminine energy. What do they actually mean, and how do they present when they're wounded and when they're healed? What I want to talk about now is how they're supposed to work together. And this is very important, not just on a divine journey, right? Because I talk about this all the time. Divine journey is very particular, is very rare. But any person through journey of healing can reach their divine state, whether that's divine feminine or divine masculine, and then be aligned with their soulmate and have that divine masculine and divine feminine union in a soulmate kind of connection. So, how do we reach that inner union? We reach that inner union through healing internally our masculine energy and our feminine energy. And for most part, oftentimes, the imbalance of these two come from a mother wound and a father wound. We know this, basics of healing and psychology. Everything starts in childhood. We can talk maybe a little bit more about the father wound and mother wound. What does it really mean? But the mother wound usually wounds your feminine energy within, whether you're male or a female, and the father wound wounds the masculine energy. So go back to those videos when I cover that to understand that better. But in order to achieve that inner union, right, to reach your divine feminine or divine masculine, you first have to heal them both. So in that microenvironment of your internal world, they are healed and they learn to work together as a team, that yin yang, so you can then either rise into your masculine or drop into your feminine and achieve union and seek union with your counterpart or your higher soulmate externally, right, in an external relationship. So the first thing that we need to understand, first, we need to heal those energies, right? So go back to those videos that I've done on masculine and feminine to know how they present when they're wounded. How to heal them, not that easy. Healing journey is long and it's complex. I always say this, it starts from asking the question, why? Why do I think that this is the right thing to do? Why do I think that the wounded thing is actually the thing that I should do? Why do I feel like that? Why do I act like that, right? And we get to the core of this. But once we heal them, we allow them to work beautifully together so they can get into that union. Now, first thing that you need to understand, and that's something that's basic. That's basic of so many concepts, that this world is presenting in such a twisted way because it's a masculine world, wounded masculine world. It's a world guided by patriarchy, which means it's a world guided by wounded masculine energy. So it makes us believe on some level from childhood, given that program, that the feminine energy is inferior, which is not true. So no person can achieve inner union if you don't believe to your very core that masculine and feminine energy are equal. They're very different, but they're both equally necessary. Yin and yang. One cannot exist without the other. And that's something that you perhaps heard me talk about when I do readings for my masculines, and we talk about divine masculine on a journey of twin flame and divine love, that for a very long time they cannot really believe, looking at their feminine, that we're equals. How could I be equal to this woman, to this earth angel? She's so much more than I am. They put us on a pedestal. They see us right here, right? Sometimes it's not always expressed externally, right? That's why we don't understand how they behave like that. It comes with an avoidance. It's a whole different topic. We're not going to get into that right now. But the core is to understand that we are equals. Again, one does not exist without the other. Once you understand that, you start to work on that teamwork, right? You're not working with that other energy, again, externally or internally, to show your superiority, to show your leadership, to show that you rule the show, to fight for power. True teamwork. Just like in any job where you have teams and you have to work with other people, it doesn't matter who did what. It doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? What matters, is that we work as a team to achieve a beautiful outcome. What do I mean by that? Your feminine, presenting it internally, right? I've covered that what it is, but for the benefit of this understanding, is your heart, is your internal world, is your intuition, is trusting in the divine, is connecting to source, connecting to the divine. Feminine energy is creation, is chaos, is the gatekeeper. All right? Now, the masculine energy is the one that takes action, that make things happen, that pushes things forward, that bring things from the external world, operate in the 3D, again, back to the feminine for her to transmute them, to alchemize them, right? So how would it look like in your internal world? Your feminine energy will be your intuition, will be that gut feeling, will be that creative spark, right? So you will see someone and you'll be like, that person ain't for me. I don't want to be friends with them anymore. We're not aligning. I don't want to be in a relationship with them anymore. We're not aligning. I have a feeling about this person. There's something like, oh, you just met someone. It's like, no. I just feel it. I cannot explain it. I just feel it. Or that intuitive feeling that this is a good decision. This is where we should do. This is the house that we should buy, right? I have a feeling, yes, this is our house. This is our home. This is my intuition. The feminine side of you. Now, the masculine, when they work together, trusts the feminine. Trusts the feminine and says, okay. I know, you know, because you know. I don't know how you know, but I know you know, because you always know. So I'm going to take that information and I'm going to take action. So if you say, this is our house, now I'm going to sign the contract. I'm going to make sure we have the money. I'm going to arrange everything. This is our house. Are you saying this person ain't for us? Well, I'm going to block their number, right? Even internally, right? As they work together, your masculine within will take that action following what the feminine within knows that is right. When they're out of balance, they're not working together. You're constantly just denying each other. It's like the feminine within you has that intuition, and then the masculine is like, no, but it is really true. How do I know this? How could I just know this? There's no logical explanation. Blah, 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 blah. And they fight. The mind fights the heart. They're not working together. They're constantly fighting. And as long as why they're fighting? Because this one thinks that the feminine, that the masculine within us even thinks that the feminine is nonsense. So as long as they're fighting, as long as they cannot work together internally within you, you're not in inner union. You're in constant inner struggle. And as long as you are in that constant inner struggle, how on earth do you think you can achieve that union externally? Being a masculine, right? If you are the one that identifies with a masculine, so you have to rise into your masculine power. If you constantly going to think that your feminine, your woman is nonsense, is emotional, she says that she knows things, but there's no logical explanation. You don't trust that. You don't trust her guidance. You don't trust her emotion. You don't trust it. How are you going to have a union? How are you going to have a relationship? It's impossible. You're going to constantly be fighting. You're going to constantly be fighting for control, who's right, for who's... That's not teamwork. So that's how we achieve that. We heal our feminine. We heal our masculine. We teach them to work together because they're equals and they're equally important in this world that is based on yin and yang and darkness and light and feminine and masculine. How can we not know this? Damn you, patriarchy! And once we understand that, we rise into our divine power and we're ready to seek that union externally with a beautiful partner. I hope this was helpful. And as always, if you have questions, let me know.